So, you guys remember a couple of videos ago we watched Train Time?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time I complained about the lack of Southern involvement.
Well, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to remedy that tonight.
What, because you got it 5 years earlier?
Yes, we're going 5 years earlier. We're going to watch Golden Arrow. Yes, welcome to The Train Now Starring, and tonight, as we've said, it's Golden Arrow, the film produced by the British Railways Southern Region Film Unit.
In 1947.
In 1947.
When British Railways didn't exist yet.
That's beside the point. The film was made by the Southern Region Film Unit.
For British Railways.
For British Railways, before British Railway. It was originally made for the Southern Railway and was later adapted, but that's beside the point. The film obviously takes the journey of the fortunate travellers of the Golden Arrow on their journey from Victoria all the way to Paris, and takes a good look at the service offered to them and the destination city. It is, in effect, one massive advert.
Inglorious Technicolor.
Yeah.
Inglorious Technicolor. It wasn't in Technicolor, it was just colour. I think they'd have advertised if it was Technicolor.
Inglorious Colour.
Inglorious Colour.
Woo.
Because the Southern rule. And,
Only according to him.
okay, so, story.
What story?
There isn't really...
It's the story of the fortunate travellers on their journey to Europe. Bomb-damaged, shitty-looking Europe.
Yay, Calais. That's pretty much all the story is.
No, Paris.
We're going to take the train to France. Actually, no, hang on.
We're going to take the train to
Rephrase that.
Dover.
We're going to take the train to Dover, get on a boat to France, get on another train to Paris.
And then have a look at Paris in both the darkness and the daylight.
Yes, we'll go look at the British Railway sign of a company that doesn't exist yet in France.
No, it did exist by the time they were filming the bits in France. Is this horrible?
It's confusing.
There's it.
It's really
If you look at the trees in some of the shots, you can tell it's the winter into spring that they alternated between. So it's that nice transition period between end of Southern and start of BR.
Nah.
Locomotives still in
Blah, blah, blah.
southern number and all the rest of it, so it's good enough for anyone. I like the bullets in that livery.
They look really nice, to be fair.
And this
The
film,
colours do look really rich.
yes,
Yeah.
especially on this sort of film.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall story,
It makes Train Time look like Brief Encounter.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it's yeah.
In terms of Golden Hour being about the Golden Hour, the Golden Hour doesn't actually feature that much in it. If you think
It
about
does. It features for most of it.
Not really.
About a third of it.
Really?
Yeah. It's not in it all
What's the
that
other
much.
two?
Flesh
thirds.
door on the other side,
Yeah,
and then
which is
it's the
still
ship.
Golden Arrow. Flesh door is the French for Golden
Yeah, but
Arrow.
it's-
Yeah.
Why didn't they name the flame fresh
But
flesh door then?
Even when
Because
they
it's the distinction between the two sides of the channel.
yeah, but even when they were in France with the French version of the Golden Hour, the actual train didn't feature in it half the time.
They were on it.
They were also on the boat
Yes.
Yes.
They
and
comment-
in the town.
and other places like the harbour.
Yes.
It should have been called The Journey of the Golden Arrow.
Yeah, that would have made slightly more sense.
But it would have been a longer title.
It would have made more sense though.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't call it The Journey of the Elizabethan Express, did you?
Yeah, but that's because it was all set on the Elizabethan Express.
Yeah.
So was the Golden Arrow. I think we're getting tied up into the idea that the Golden Arrow is this one formation of fixed bashing garages and a locomotive. It's not. The Golden Arrow is the combination of the train, the boat, the other train. That is the Golden Arrow.
Tell that to the great British public.
Yeah, but the Great British public can think what they like, but that's what it is.
So marks for story, whatever there is of it.
2.
Generous as that.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 1.
I'll give it a 1 as well.
The reason I say two, it flows. We follow the journey down. We look at the bits going on. We even have a meanwhile.
Meanwhile. What was the meanwhile?
Meanwhile, down at Dover.
Meanwhile, down at Dover.
Yeah, it's the prep for the
You
on the boat.
need, to be honest, to make it slightly more interesting, you need that in the film. Meanwhile, down at Dover.
He does actually say, not in that voice, but he does.
Yes, but if he did it in that voice, it would have been slightly more interesting.
Yes, but let's face it. If he had done it in that voice, you wouldn't have heard it, as we'll get onto in a moment.
Yeah, we'll get on to that in a moment. But yeah, I say a 1. It's kind of, in much as it flows. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It flowed. Nothing else.
Meh.
Yeah.
Meh. It also gets a point for featuring a bridge near my house.
The 1 point.
You can tell he's biased, can't you?
So basically, 1 point because it flows,
Yes.
and another point because it features a bridge near your house.
Yes.
Okay. So that's how we're gonna do it. I'm going to give it
Well,
nothing.
No,
as
no,
if
no,
it
I'm
just
going to say.
nothing.
I'm going to say no. To be fair, it gets half a point. No, quarter of a point for featuring a bridge near my house,
1
and
point.
3/4 of a point for featuring a bullied in southern livery.
Okay.
Fine.
There we go.
So technicals. It looks beautiful.
It
without
looks. It
question.
looks fantastic.
It looks great, but
Yeah.
the one thing that lets it down,
Yeah.
apart from the random story or non-existence of it, the audio hasn't held up that well.
No, it's.
It's been released on VHS and further on DVD over the years. And whatever version they've released, it hasn't aged very well.
Either that or it wasn't recorded well in the first place.
It
listening
must
to
have been,
it,
but
I don't know. Listening to it, it's got that edge to it that it sounds as though it was probably a little bit shit when it was first released.
well, if you want to take that out with the archives, then by all means do.
Yeah, I reckon it's probably not the best recording. I mean, it's not like
He's saying
British
it, not me.
It's not like it's British Transport Films or a major. It's a British Railways film unit.
Hang on, no, let's rephrase it. It's a Southern Film Unit for
Yeah.
British Railways.
Southern Region film unit.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's still basically
Same
a
hierarchy.
group of people who effectively work for the railways, trying to do something that isn't in their normal job description.
You've got a camera, haven't you? Yeah. Okay, you go film this train. We'll give you some colour film.
It does feel like that in places.
Yeah.
It's I do love that shot coming away from Victoria though at the start.
Yeah,
Start of the journey.
that is
That's the classic moment with the white clock tower of the bus station in the background.
so iconic. I think I've got a jigsaw of it at home.
I've got a jigsaw of it at home.
Yeah, well,
It used
yeah.
to be above the stairs, and then we had to take it down.
It's never had a jigsaw on our wall.
No,
No.
I've got many jigsaws on my wall.
Yes, I know.
I mean, you've seen.
I've seen your house.
Don't have to say it like that.
I've seen your house.
I've seen your house.
And of course, credit where it's due. They've managed to make a bomb-damaged country not look as bomb-damaged as it
Yeah.
really was.
To be
even if it
perfectly
is
fair-
slightly bomb-damaged.
Yeah.
To be fair, most of the bomb damage was inflicted by us, though. Not us three. I'd like
Yeah.
to make that clear. No, by
No,
the
no,
British and the Americans. We could just blame the Yanks
We could.
or the Free French.
Well, there goes our American audience. Sorry, guys.
That said, if you hadn't told me, because I've never seen Golden Arrow before, apart from like the iconic shot of it coming out of the station. If you'd not said to me, "Oh, by the way, France is bomb damaged in this," I wouldn't have noticed anything different. Frankly, and I've never been to France.
So you didn't spot the sandbag piles.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was just generally watching it and not really taking it all in.
See, now this I can use when you score it later.
Okay, I didn't notice any sandbags. Let's put it that way.
So, marks for technicals. What do we think?
One.
I reckon a 1 because the colour.
No, 1.5. 1.5. It's in colour. It's not very sharp.
Yeah, but how many things back in the 1940s were sharp?
It could be just how the film's aged.
Brief
over the years.
Encounter.
Better film.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
sharp.
better film.
Yeah.
So it's a better film. It's a sharp film. No, this has issues with being sharp. The audio...
On the version which has been released.
On the
time and
version
time
which has been
again.
released, it is naff. Soundtrack's good, though.
Yeah. Great music.
Um,
Great music.
but it's just got too many things working against it. Lovely film, but technically, it's nice to see it in colour, but it's the editing as well.
I found it slightly clunky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very it's not even regimented. It's just someone's gone. Oh, I'll put this together. All
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay. There you go.
Or whoever's been editing has had someone over their shoulder sort of go, oh no, you should put that bit there.
Yeah,
And it's, oh no, we need a shot of that there, and it's not.
it's not adventurous.
as you usually will.
No, but it's that's why 1.5.
So I'd say a 1 myself.
I'd be a little bit more generous. I'd give it 1 for the music, and 1 for it being such great eye candy. But then I wouldn't give it the 3rd star on account of the audio hasn't aged very well and it's not very sharp.
Okay.
So, solid 2, I think.
Okay. General appeal.
As one massive glorified advert goes,
Not
how
very
much
appealing.
general appeal can such an advert have?
I think it's generally appealing at the very start and at the very end. The bit in the middle is great for rail enthusiasts, but the bits either side, looking at old London and old Paris, possibly the bit in the middle with a bit of old Calais, though not quite so much, but definitely looking at the two cities, I reckon is quite appealing to people because actually the landmarks haven't changed all that much. Okay, in St Paul's you couldn't get that shot today.
No.
You couldn't. There's too much there now, but it's... Yeah, I mean, you see the famous points, and I think that's... I mean, people look out for that in feature films, don't they? They look out for the interesting... Well, this is just jumping the gun, just going straight in with it, charging full head first into saying, look at the city! And then we're finished with the British Railways office.
Look at amazing London. Look at amazing Paris. Look at the office over there. Well, it is an office.
And it has a Union Jack, which is what a film of that era needed to finish on.
Yes. Because we're very patriotic.
We're glorified because we're Britain in the late 40s and throughout the 50s.
No, we're just Britain.
Britain.
Just
We're
Britain.
not so much glorified these days, though, let's be fair.
We are, but for all the wrong reasons.
So,
Well, how can we? Because we give antagonists actual depth. Whereas in the 50s, they were just antagonists.
so general appeal, score.
Doesn't have all that much, I would say.
2.
I think if you're a railway enthusiast or you're just looking for a bit of eye candy,
Yeah.
which of landmarks hasn't changed a great deal, then I'd probably give it a solid 1.5. So it's below average. I'm glad I saw it. I'm just not sure if I'd see it again.
Yeah, I'd go with you on that one. 1.5. Not quite a 2 myself. It's just not really worth a 2. I don't think.
No.
Okay. So, would you recommend it?
As we said with many of these things,
Yeah.
if you're
Do we have to repeat ourselves?
if you're a railway enthusiast, then watch the bits at the beginning, at the end, well, the train bits basically.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not really that overly appealing. Obviously, to some people, yes, it will be, but not everybody. Most people probably won't find it hugely interesting.
Yeah,
I'd find it hard to recommend this film, to be honest, unless it was to someone who was interested in a bit of post-war eye candy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's possibly got a greater general appeal and ability to be recommended than some of the other films. It's got a better edge than some of the other films, and for that reason, I think it's more likely to be recommended to a wider range of people because of the fact it's not purely about the train. You're looking.
Sadly.
You're
Yeah.
looking. Yeah, sadly for us. No, it's looking at the destinations on either side, and because of that, you open up to a whole wider range of people that are going to be interested in it. It's not so much the social history; it's actual just history,
Yeah.
which is a lot more appealing to people. So therefore, could be recommended to a wider range of people. I think,
I suppose.
which actually is why I gave it the 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you travel by Golden Arrow?
No, I don't like the Southern.
Fuck you.